as Relational Resonance 2025, Arcturian channeling for healing loneliness, building sacred community, and prosperous bonds. Transmission from the Arcturian Council of Harmonic Bridges to the human family. Beloved kin of the living light, a great tide moves through Earth in this season. Cities thrum and phones glow, yet many hearts report a silent ache. The ache speaks softly of disconnection, of rooms filled with signals and thin intimacy. The ache does not condemn. The ache invites alignment. The remedy arrives as relational resonance. A field where sovereignty meets communion, clarity meets tenderness, and presence meets play. This channeling braids Arcturian geometry, Buddhist lucidity, Christic compassion, PNL precision, biodecoding insight, and numerology to stabilize bonds that bless all sides. The goal remains simple and bright. Heal loneliness without abandoning solitude. Grow community without dissolving boundaries. Transmit love without leaking power. 1. The field of resonance. Resonance means frequency agreement through mutual choice, not sameness, not fusion. A choir sings harmony because each voice keeps its tone. Relationships thrive when the nervous system holds a steady rhythm while welcoming a second rhythm near it. The room fills with living chords. The world hears the song. Arcturian axiom. Sovereignty amplifies connection. Connection nourishes sovereignty. The loop generates prosperity for every participant. Daily anchor. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Inhale 4 counts, exhale 8 counts. Whisper a vow that serves both self and other. Example line. I keep my truth and I keep my tenderness. Repeat 3 times. Proceed into the day. Lightworker 2. PNL Protocol. HEART. For relational clarity use. HEART. To shape conversations, messages, and commitments. Short, kind, and effective. H. Hold state. Choose a resource memory of mutual respect. Stack submodalities. Warmer internal light, rounder inner voice, wider chest. Anchor with a gentle nail press on the ring finger. E. Enunciate intent. Write and speak one sentence that names the purpose. Replace vagueness with behavior. Replace pressure with rhythm. A. Align boundaries. Name one energetic boundary and one logistical boundary. Examples. I respond within daylight hours. I change plans through a single channel. D. Reflect back. Mirror a key word from the other person and summarize in one line. Train the body to feel seen while the mind stays precise. T. Tend closure. Close every exchange with a small gratitude and a clear next step or a clean no. Closure prevents residue. Practice HEART before messages, meetings, or public posts. Minutes invested prevent hours of repair. Dhammandaka 3. Biodecoding the ache of loneliness. The body carries ancestral maps about belonging. Some lineages survive by shrinking, masking, or overgiving. The jaw stiffens to hold unsaid truths. The diaphragm tightens to hold unshed tears. The shoulders raise to hold invisible villages. Honor these loyalties. Update them with ceremony. Ritual of releasing overcare. 1. Write a single sentence naming the duty. Example line. I carried 3 generations by smiling and never needing. 2. Place the paper under a small bowl of water with a pinch of salt. 3. Right hand on throat, left hand on belly. Hum for 1 minute on a low note, then another minute on a higher note. 4. Speak this contract update. I keep love and I return burdens. I keep presence and I release roles. 5. Offer the water to a plant. Walk outside for 5 minutes with slow steps. The nervous system records the new map. Ritual of reclaiming desire. 1. Place 2 objects on a table. One represents solitude. One represents community. 2. Alternate touching each object while breathing 4 in and 8 out. 3. Speak 3 lines. I bless solitude. I bless communion. I bless my ability to choose both. 4. Journal 1 paragraph about a relational need in sensory language. 5. Send one message that honors that need with kindness and clarity. 4. Numerology codes for bonds that prosper. The collective number of 39 in 2025 favors clean endings and compassionate service. Pair 3 master numbers to design relational architectures. 13. Tunes intuition into message. Use for invitations and heartfelt openings. 22. Builds containers. Use for calendars, agreements, and routines. 33. Pours compassion into learning. Use for circles, courses, and mentorship. Microcode practice. Trace. Tag to 9, 9 to 9. Behind the heart to close past patterns. Trace. 2 to 2 poke. Over your palms to bless partnerships. Trace. 3 to touch pa. Over your throat to bless expression. Finish with 1, 1, 1. Before the chest to open a line starts. 5. Buddhist loving kindness and Christic compassion. In action, the heart learns relational craft through practice. Loving kindness offers phrases of goodwill. Christic compassion adds a golden current of dignity. Together they produce steady warmth without collapse. Speak short lines before encounters, or when tension rises. May this being feel safe. May this being feel seen. May this being feel supported. May my speech be true, kind, useful, and timely. May my heart remain soft and my spine remain strong. This simple current alters meetings, messages, and meals. The body hears the tone and relaxes. The room learns coherence. Video 6. Everyday Stories of Resonant Bonds. Noah and Lila, the co-founders. Noah codes with quiet focus. Lila shares stories with radiant clarity. They install HEART before stand-ups. They rotate a weekly gratitude round. They practice the overcare release ritual after launches. Revenue grows. Burnout fades. Their platform now feels like a village with boundaries. Amara, the therapist. Amara felt drained by endless voice notes. She writes a boundary page with love, reduces channels to 1, and schedules 2 connect windows daily. She uses numerology seals before sessions and a Christic blessing after. Clients thrive. Amara returns home with energy for friends and art. Diego, the teacher. Diego designs a classroom. Circle of 4. Create, connect, care, contain. He posts the 4 words with emojis. He mirrors student words and applies the right speech filter during conflicts. The room steadies. Parents remark on new confidence. Rosa and Mateo, the parents. They practice 4 breaths and 8 exhalations before family discussions. They end each conversation with T in HEART, a clear next step or a kind no. The home rhythm changes from firefight to flow. Tabrita 7. The Sapphire Social Net. Visualize a luminous net of blue threads around your life. Each node represents a relationship or circle. The net breathes like a living organism. Define 5 kinds of nodes. 1. Core. Family, beloved friends, mentors, partners. 2. Creative. Collaborators, peers, co-learners. 3. Community. Groups, circles, neighborhoods. 4. Care. Healers, therapists, teachers. 5. Curiosity. New connections, potential bridges. Assign rhythms to each node. Monthly tea, weekly stand-up, quarterly retreat, daily check-in, seasonal letter. The net grows strong without tangling. Nathium 8. Boundaries. As luminous membranes, boundaries breathe. They protect tenderness so tenderness can keep creating. Speak boundaries as blessings. Warm tone, clear words, simple forms. Examples. Work happens within agreed hours. Changes travel through one channel. Payment confirms booking. Credit honors every contributor. Delivery closes with a blessing note. Refunds follow a kind written policy. Meetings include a 2-minute breath at the start and a 1-minute gratitude at the end. Place these lines near screens and doors. The room learns to protect love. Numero 9. 7-minute ritual for calls, dates, and deals. Minute 1. Posture tall, jaw soft, gaze gentle. Minute 2. Sapphire sphere around the body. Whisper. Only what serves love passes through. Minute through numerology seals. 999 behind the heart, 22 on the palms, 111 before the chest. Minute 4. PNLHEART. Hold, enunciate, align, reflect, tend. Minute 5. Right speech filter of truth, kindness, usefulness, timeliness. Minute 6. Christic blessing for the other being by name. Minute 7. Gratitude in advance and a gentle smile. Proceed. Differ 10. Resonant communication without drain. Voice notes with a 2-minute cap and a clear purpose. Written messages with a single topic and a clear next step. Meetings with a shared document and visible decisions. Social posts scheduled in windows, not in constant drip. Phone far from bed, phone out of meals, phone outside sacred spaces. Silence woven into days as nourishment, not punishment. The nervous system thanks you. The voice grows round and trustworthy. 11. Nervous system care for relational courage. 4 in, 8 out, 5 rounds before sensitive topics. Cold splash on the face to tone the vagus nerve. Hum a descending 5th, then an ascending 5th. Magnesium-rich foods and warm water. Nap permission on heavy days. 10-minute sun walk at noon if available. Courage lands in the body as a regulated yes or a clean no. Dashers 12. Prosperous bonds and clean commerce. Prosperity flourishes in clear agreements. Place, consent, credit, compensation, containment, compassion. As your 5 C's. Consent written and stored. Credit explicit for humans and tools. Compensation defined with buffers for rest. Containment through versions, file names, and watermarks. Compassion in tone and aftercare. Clean commerce heals community. Abundance becomes a shared song. 13. Sleep, dreams, and belonging. Sleep integrates learning. Dreams test new maps of intimacy and boundaries. Protect the first and last 30 minutes of each day. Candle light, gentle music, breath pacing, notebook open, phone in another room. The night turns into a tender teacher. Dream bridge for relational repair. Write 1 line of intent. Remember what helps love grow with dignity. Breathe 4 in and 8 out for 3 minutes. Upon waking, write 3 fragments. Carry 1 symbol through the day. Daka. 14. Community rituals that nourish. Weekly synchronous breath for 2 minutes across time zones. Monthly gratitude circle with short lines only. Quarterly boundary review and celebration of closures. Seasonal service day that blesses the wider field without depletion. Small rituals generate big trust. Trust becomes the treasury that money alone cannot buy. The Pese. 15. Tools and spaces that support resonance. Warm lights, soft textures, water nearby. Plants as green allies. Chairs that honor spines. Timers to shape waves of focus and connection. Shared documents as living agreements. A small altar with a stone, candle, and icon that mean love. The studio becomes a sanctuary. The sanctuary becomes a studio. Device 16. Detox from doom and from fawn. Doom collapses hope. Fawn collapses self. Both harm community. Replace both with steady rapport. Clear windows for headlines. Clear windows for replies. Clear windows for silence. Clear endings after each loop. The body learns that connection and choice can coexist. Steady rapport checklist. 12 minutes of breath before news. 30 minutes of creation before messages. 2 windows of connection daily. 1 page of reflection at day end. 1 weekly walk with a friend or a tree. Terpor. 17. 30-day path to relational resonance. Days 1-5 grounder. Breath 4-8, vow line, plant water ritual. Days 6-10, clarify. HEART before messages and meetings. Days 11-15, consent. Draft agreements and boundary page. Practice reading them aloud. Days 16-20, connect. 1 gratitude per day, 1 small share, 1 clean no. Days 21-25, care. Food, sleep, movement upgrades. Days 26-30, celebrate and close. Publish or share something small daily. Archive with a blessing note. The month turns into a living monastery of friendship. Darindu, 18. Mantras, mudras, and codes. Mantra. Sapphire truth in, golden love out. Mudra. Thumb and index finger touching at the throat, other fingers extended. Breathe and hum. Code sequence. 2 to 2 for partnership balance, 3 to 3 for expressive play, 9 to 9 to 9 for clean closure, 1 to 1.1 for aligned beginnings. Tap this rhythm on the sternum before calls or posts. Color wheel. Sapphire for truth, rose gold for compassion, emerald for consent, pearl for clarity. Bathe rooms and messages with these tones. 19. Closing transmission and blessing. Beloved, the ache that visits modern hearts becomes a bell, not a sentence. The bell invites rhythm and rest, boundaries and bridges, vows and laughter. Your voice contains a village. Your body remembers community. Your soul knows the geometry of belonging. Let sovereignty protect tenderness. Let tenderness irrigate sovereignty. Let commerce carry consent and care. Let art become the language where strangers become kin. We ask sapphire codes to descend into throat and heart. We ask rose gold mercy to flow through hands. We ask emerald consent to line agreements. We ask pearl clarity to light calendars. The net around you brightens into a living constellation. Loved ones feel safer. Collaborators feel clearer. Strangers feel welcome inside healthy doors. Walk as a small lighthouse in a noisy world. Breathe as a simple prayer inside crowded hours. Choose the slow yes that builds worlds. Choose the clean no that protects wonder. Celebrate completions. Archive with gratitude. Begin again with joy. It is done. It is sealed. It is blessed.